Hi, my name is Kaylee Van Duzen. I'm a physical therapist and yoga teacher excited about getting you moving and feeling good in your body. You might be coming here from lesson 1, where we learn the first 5 postures in this intro to yoga course. Today we're going to take those 5 postures and turn them into a moving flow. Don't worry if you haven't seen that video, I'm sure you can follow along. The goal of this is to make you feel confident in going to your first yoga class. So shake it out, you can do this, let's do it together. First we'll start in quadruped, talk about our hands again. So you're pressing the ground away from you, engage the shoulders. Press the ground away, engage the shoulders. Now we're going to grip onto the mat like we're pulling the mat up off of the ground. Pull the mat up off the ground, engage the shoulders. Now, once we lift our hips, we'll be in downward facing dog. Keeping a firm grip of the mat, lift the hips. Allow the knees to bend or the heels to be lifted and begin to pedal out the feet. I want you to start breathing a little bit deeper than you were when you began. If ever you feel uncomfortable in downward facing dog, feel free to put your knees on the mat, reset and try again, or just take a break. This is a nice big stretch for the hamstrings. As you reach the heels down towards the ground, I want you to think of lifting up your hip bones to the sky. And then relax the back of the neck. It's a lot to think about, so feel free to take a break, take a breath, reset, and try again. All right, a firm foundation in downward facing dog. Feel free to bend the knees, left, right, pedal out the feet. Continue to push down through the ground. And now on our next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg towards the sky. You're in a 3-legged dog. Breathe out. Another inhale. And on your exhale, you're going to step your foot between your thumbs. Can you reach it up between your thumbs? This is a runner's lunge. So the back heel is lifted and my crown of my head is pointing towards the front of my mat. My left glute is engaged. Good. We're going to turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat, moving towards our skandasana position. As we talked about, there's a couple of different positions and variations of this that might feel good. So feel free to return to the posture lesson and see which option is best for you. Now that we're here, you can keep a bend of the knee, and we're going to point the toes up towards the ground. Feel free to sink the hips a little bit deeper, but I'm liking where I'm at right now, so I'm going to stay. I'm feeling the glute is engaged, and think about what you're feeling. Where are you feeling a stretch or maybe a strengthening opportunity? If you'd like to reach that left hand up to the sky, feel free to do that with me for a breath. I'm going to bring the left hand back down to meet the right, and then I'm going to walk my fingers like little spiders across the top of the mat. So now I'm bending both of my knees and sinking my hips down to the ground, getting a nice big stretch of the inner thigh muscles. Keep walking my fingers over towards the other side of the mat, stretch out the right leg, and I'm in skandasana on the left side. Toes point up towards the sky. I'm not necessarily sinking and hanging so much as I'm engaging the pelvic floor, engaging the inner thigh muscles, and then feeling a stretch down towards the ground. Again, right hand this time could lift up towards the sky. Taking some nice clearing, some cleansing. We'll bring that right hand down. And now I'm going to frame the left foot. So I've made it to my runner's lunge on the left side. Fingertips are pressing down into the ground for a little bit of support. If you'd like, you could lift the arms up and over the head, or stay firmly supported with the fingertips or some blocks. I like all of those choices, and I like to change it up. Now that we're here, we're going to move into pigeon on the left side. My left foot is going to walk over towards the right side of my mat, inch it over, and then I can bring my right knee down as I kind of let my left knee come towards my left wrist. So I might have to make a couple of position adjustments. My foot's a little bit sickled, so I'm going to straighten out this foot. And then I'll lift my chest and exhale, fold. The reason that the lesson 1 class might be helpful is because it does give some posture variations. But as you might already know, you can prop on your elbows, you can lay your chest on the ground, or if neither of those things are feeling good, you can keep the hands planted in the ground. On the opposite side, I'll show you an on the back option as well. From this position, we're going to tuck the right toes underneath us. So now the right knee can lift up off the ground. You're going to press through both of your hands really firmly to bring your left knee in towards your chest. You'll be in a plank pose, and then your left leg will reach back to a 3-legged dog. Palms plant into the ground. I'm lifting through my pelvic floor up towards the sky, my left knee to the chest, and then lift it up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Awesome. The left foot is going to come down to the ground, and then we'll shake it out. You're here in this downward facing dog, so you might find some comfort in adjusting. Maybe you can widen your stance. Maybe that feels good. A reminder to lift up through the shoulders. All right. On your next inhale, the left leg is going to lift towards the sky. Left leg lifts. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Can you reach the foot between the fingertips? Nicely done. We're in our runner's lunge. Engage the right glute muscle. Elongate the back of the neck. Beautiful. Our toes are going to point towards the long edge of the mat, and we're here in Skandasana. Maybe the first round you did a little bit elevated and you'd like to bend your knee a little bit more, sink in the hips, but still engaging the pelvis. Hands can come to heart center or out wide, whatever feels more comfortable. We're going to take our spider tip fingers and walk them towards the opposite side of the mat. Skandasana of your choice with the opposite toes lifted, palms to heart center, or arms nice and wide. One more breath here, feeling a stretch, feeling the strength of the leg. We're going to turn to our runner's lunge. Hands frame the foot. Coming into pigeon on the right side. Our right foot is walking towards the opposite side of the mat. You can come down to your knees so that you can place your right knee behind your right wrist. Unsickle the foot if it's sickled. Nice and long. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, moving towards your variation of pigeon. And like I said, let's touch on pigeon on the back. So if you're doing it on your back, your right ankle is going to cross over your left knee. And you're making a figure 4 position with the legs. You can either have the hands on the back of the thigh or on the front of the shin. And just feeling a similar stretch to what you're feeling in pigeon, but maybe in a less restrictive or constraining position. Nicely done. So if you're on your back, let's meet back up with our upright pigeons. All right, upright pigeons. We are coming back to our 3-legged dog position. So we're pressing down through our palms, lifting up through the belly button, bring the right knee to the chest, and then towards the sky, and then down towards the ground. Nicely done. All right, we're coming down onto our knees to that quadruped position. And then sink your bum however you'd like to, so you can bring the feet out to the side. Moving towards staff pose. For staff pose, we're going to reach our arms up over the head and exhale the arms down past the legs. Now, depending on your flexibility of your hamstrings, it might feel better to bend the knees and it might feel easier to fold forward that way. Really nicely done, reaching the crown of the head always over the toes to get length in the back of the spine and in the back of the legs. Nicely done. Let's pitter out the legs, pitter patter, pitter patter. We'll cross the feet into easy pose as we come to a little bit of rest and relaxation after our movement. So, easy pose, our legs are crossed. As we talked about in lesson 1, feel free to lift the hips with a block or a bolster. This might make it feel a little bit more comfortable if you have really tight hips or if your back gets fatigued in easy pose. Take your arms up over the head, inhale. Exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head. Eyes can be open or closed. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more deep breath in. Exhale the hands to heart center. One breath for you, one breath for community, one breath for all beings, living or non. May they be happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you for joining me in this Intro to Yoga Lesson 1 practice.